The most celebrated architects on the planet, Zaha Hadid, Pininfarina, Robert A.M, are all redesigning South Florida's skyline right now. And if you're buying luxury real estate here, what they are building is going to affect your investment for the next 20 years. And this video could save you from a very expensive mistake. And if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living and investing in South Florida, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications so you won't miss any updates on South Florida real estate market. We get calls every day from people just like you. So whether you move in one day or 1 year, feel free to reach out anytime. Below in the description box, you will find a link to download our free South Florida Buyer's Guide and also our contact information. So let's get started. Today, I want to talk about something that I think doesn't get enough attention when buyers are evaluating new construction luxury condos in South Florida, and that is the architect behind the building. Most people walk into a sales center, they see the finishes, the model unit, the pool deck rendering, and they make a decision based on how beautiful it looks in that moment. But the architect is the signature on the building. The architect is what determines whether that tower is still relevant, is still desirable, and is still holding value in 15 years, or whether it quietly becomes just another glass box on the coastline. Right now, South Florida is in the middle of one of the most extraordinary new construction waves it has ever seen. We're not talking about regular condo towers. We are talking about internationally celebrated design firms that typically work in Paris, Milan, and Tokyo, and they are setting up shop right here in our backyard. So let's walk through the most important projects and the architects behind them, because this is exactly the kind of context you need before you invest a single dollar. Let's start in downtown Miami, because nothing happening in South Florida real estate right now is bigger, literally, than the Waldorf Astoria Hotel and Residences at 300 Biscayne Boulevard. This tower is going to be 1,049 feet tall across 100 stories, which makes it Florida's first and ever super tall skyscraper and the tallest residential building south of New York City. When that thing tops out, you will see it from everywhere in Miami. The architecture was conceived by Carlos Art, a Uruguayan-Canadian architect known for iconic work around the world, in collaboration with Sigurd Suarez Architects as the architect of record. The design is 9 offset glass cubes stacked vertically, each one rotated and shifted from the one below it. From the street, it looks like a stack of giant crystal blocks suspended in the air. It's bold, it's intentional, and it's not something you forget. Interiors are by BAMO. Construction is actively underway. As of early this year, the tower had already passed its 6th floor, rising at a remarkable pace. Completion is targeted for 2028 with 387 private residences and 205 Waldorf Astoria hotel rooms. Pricing ranges from roughly $1.1 million on the lower floors all the way up to $40 million plus at the top. Now, when you're evaluating a building like this, the question I always ask my clients is not just, does this look beautiful today? The question is this going to be a landmark? And a Carlos Art Supertall building with a Waldorf Astoria brand attached to it? That is not a speculative answer. This is a very compelling case for long-term value. Now, let's go north to Sunny Isles Beach, where Bentley Residences is rising on Collins Avenue. This is the world's first and only Bentley-branded residential tower developed by Dezervator in collaboration with Bentley Motors and designed by Sigurd Suarez Architects. Yes, the same firm working on the Waldorf Astoria, which tells you a lot about how dominant they are in this market right now. Sigurd Suarez has been designing luxury high-rises in South Florida for over 40 years. They built the Porsche Design Tower, Residence of Armani Casa, Apogee. They are the gold standard for this type of project here. Bentley Tower Residences is 63 stories and 749 feet tall, which makes it the tallest residential tower on a U.S. oceanfront. The exterior has a distinctive diamond-shaped glass facade, and the interior is, without question, the most car enthusiast-focused residential product ever built. Every single residence has a private multi-car garage accessible through the building's signature Dezervator, a patented car elevator system that brings your vehicle directly to your floor. You'll park your Ferrari next to your living room. That's the concept. The residences range from 3,500 to 9,000 square feet, and every unit has a private terrace with its own pool, outdoor shower, and summer kitchen. Construction is now well underway, with the tower currently climbing approximately one floor every 5 to 6 working days. Completion is estimated for late 2026 into 2027. This is a building that is going to define Sunny Isles Beach skyline for a generation. Moving south to Brickell, we have the St. Regis Residences on Brickell Avenue, designed by Robert A.M. Architects, one of the most respected classical architecture firms in the world. If Bentley Residences is about the spectacle and automotive innovation, the St. Regis is about something completely different. It is about permanence, proportion, and prestige. Robert A.M. Stern is known for designing buildings that look as if they have always belonged exactly where they stand. His firm has set benchmarks for long-term value in places like New York and London, and at the St. Regis Brickell, the nautical references and classical detailing have been translated for a South Florida waterfront setting. We are talking about two towers, approximately 50 stories, with around 152 residences and interiors by Rockwell Group. The amenity experience is anchored by the legendary St. Regis Butler Service. This is a hospitality standard that very few buildings anywhere in the world can match. For buyers who are looking for something that leans more toward timeless elegance than architectural statement, and who want the service platform of a 5-star hotel permanently attached to their home, this is the building. There is a reason people ask me about this project constantly. Now I want to shift north into Broward County because there is something happening in Fort Lauderdale that I think is genuinely underappreciated. And that's the Andare Residences by Pininfarina, developed by Related Group under construction on East Las Olas Boulevard. For those who don't know, Pininfarina is the legendary Italian design house that shaped some of the most iconic automobiles ever made. Ferrari, Maserati, Rolls-Royce, they are one of the most recognizable design names in the world. And they are now bringing that philosophy, timeless aesthetics, precision materials, flowing lines, to a 46-story residential tower right in the heart of Fort Lauderdale. This is the first luxury condo on Las Olas Boulevard in nearly 20 years, and is going to become the tallest residential structure in all of Broward County at over 540 feet. Pininfarina worked with CFE architects to design a facade with curved wraparound balconies that echo the movement of ocean waves. It is immediately distinguishable on the skyline. The building has 163 residences ranging from 1,800 to over 4,300 square feet, with prices between $2 and $5 million for most units and a penthouse at $16 million. More than half of the residents are reportedly already under contract. Completion is expected in 2027. I tell my clients who are specifically focused on Fort Lauderdale, this is the project to watch. It is priced accessibly compared to Miami. It has a world-class design pedigree, and it anchors what is quickly becoming the most desirable residential corridor in Broward County. And finally, let's talk about Surfside, a very special site, and I say that with deep respect for its history. The Delmore is a 12-story oceanfront development on Collins Avenue, designed by Zaha Hadid architects and developed by Denmark International. This is the firm's second residential project in the Miami area, and it may be the most architecturally significant boutique project in all of South Florida right now. Only 37 residences, they call them mansions in the sky, average over 7,000 square feet each, with penthouses starting at 10,000 square feet. Prices start at $15 million and average around $40 million per residence. The facade is sculpted in glass fiber reinforced concrete that mimics the texture of sand with curves and crescents throughout. No sharp corners, no rigid grid. It is fluid, organic, and unmistakably Hadid. Foundation work is underway with delivery expected in 2029. This is for the buyer who wants an absolute rare property. 12 floors, 4 residences per floor, maximum, 200 feet of oceanfront beach in Surfside Billionaire's triangle between Bal Harbour, Indian Creek, and Surfside itself. You are not going to find anything like it. So here's my takeaway for all of you watching. When we talk about luxury, new construction in South Florida, the architect is not a footnote in the brochure. The architect is the thesis of the investment. A Zaha Hadid building in Surfside is not the same as a generic glass tower in Surfside. A Pininfarina building on Las Olas is not the same as any other condo on Las Olas. The design pedigree signals exclusivity. It attracts a global buyer pool, and it protects resale value in ways that a less distinctive building simply cannot. That's not emotion talking. That's what the data tell us when we look at how landmark design buildings hold value compared to commodity towers over time. My advice to anyone exploring these buildings right now, do not look at them in isolation. Look at the architect, look at the developer, look at the location trajectory, and look at how many of those units will ever exist. Scarcity combined with design pedigree is one of the most powerful value drivers in luxury real estate. And right now, South Florida has an unprecedented concentration of exactly that combination. If you want to talk through any of these projects in detail, compare them, understand the numbers, figure out which one actually makes sense for your lifestyle and your investment goals, that is exactly what I'm here for. Reach out to us. Our information is in the description box below. I'm Marcia Gano with Florida Living for you. Live well, invest better. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.